KHOU 11 News at 5:30 starts now.
Thanks for joining us on this digital newscast. We're streaming live now on KHOU 11 Plus. Up first, an update on a story we've been following closely involving the shooting death of Spring Branch ISD employee Jose Torres.
Tonight, the Harris County Sheriff's Office tells us a suspect is in custody and he's Torres' nephew. According to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, 22-year-old Antonio Guzman was arrested early this morning at his home on Fairbanks North Houston Road. He's charged with his uncle's murder and is being held in the Harris County Jail. The arrest just comes 2 days after Torres' wife found him shot dead in their Northwest Harris County home. Right now, the motive is unclear. Authorities are asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers.
We continue to follow a story we first brought you as breaking news last night. Human remains found in a fire-damaged home. Investigators believe have been there for months.
Now neighbors are reacting and sharing new details. Our Michelle Choi explains.
More than 24 hours after skeletal remains were found inside this fire-damaged home, crime scene tape remained up. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the new homeowners of the property were in the process of cleaning up the house to flip it when they found rib bones and a skull under a pile of debris near the entryway and called police. Startling news for longtime neighbors like Elizabeth Hernandez.
It's tragic. It's sad to, hear this kind of news.
Hernandez has lived across the street for more than 20 years and says she was close to the previous homeowner, who she says was an older lady living with her adult son and at one point his 3 children before they moved out. She says everyone was shocked when their house caught fire back in late August, including the homeowner.
She's been through a lot. She took it really hard whenever the house burned down. She was crying.
According to the sheriff's office, the fire was being investigated as possible arson, but initial information they had at the time was the house was vacant. However, they now believe the remains may have been there when the fire initially happened. Investigators also learned at the time a tenant was about to be evicted.
Nobody's seen that person since August. They were seen leaving the house about 2 hours before the fire started. So we don't know where those remains came from in the house, if it may have been, part of the tenant returned to the house, nobody saw him when he returned, or if it may have been somebody else living in the house.
At this time, investigators say the tenant has not been named as a suspect, but they are looking for him as well as the former homeowner. And the medical examiner's anthropology department will work to identify the remains and exact cause of death. In Northeast Harris County, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Tonight, a man is recovering in the hospital after he was shot at while driving.
Now, Houston police need your help to find that suspect. It happened around 11 last night at an AutoZone parking lot on Aldine Bender Road, just off North Freeway in North Houston. Police say a man was driving his car when someone opened fire, hitting him in the torso and causing him to crash into a fence. The driver was taken to the hospital and is reportedly stable. Authorities are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers.
In Northwest Houston, police are investigating an overnight drug deal that turned violent. It happened around 10 p.m. on North Gessner Road in the Willowbrook area. Police say a 16-year-old was trying to sell drugs at an apartment complex. That's when the other party allegedly robbed him and shot the teen in the leg. He's expected to be okay, though. Right now, investigators are working with witnesses and the victim. If you know anything, call Houston Police.
In Laport, a man is dead and 2 kids are in the hospital after a car crash. This happened this morning around 10 o'clock at the intersection of West Fairmont and Canada Road. Police say the man was speeding to beat a red light, and because of the wet roads, he lost control of the car and crashed into a traffic sign. The man died at the scene. The kids were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It is unclear if they were related. And a reminder out there to you, please drive carefully, especially on those slick streets. Here's a live look over the I-45 Gulf Freeway, where the roads are clear now after some showers earlier this morning.
Yeah, wet start to the day. Meteorologist Pat Kavlin is back tonight.
Yeah, Pat, I know you're tracking some cooler weather too this week.
Yeah, so these showers and storms we had today kind of setting the stage for the air mass that'll welcome in that front as we get into tomorrow. You can see a lot of clouds out there. Made it to 82 today. We started at 71. We should be starting the day at 51, so 20 degrees above where we should be this time of year for our morning temperatures. But we are going to be much closer to these numbers as we get towards the middle of the week. Live look over downtown. Temperatures still 70s to around 80 degrees with a lot of cloud cover. A couple of Spots of showers out there right now, but the rain coverage is starting to diminish. As we get to tomorrow afternoon and evening, a line of storms and downpours will race through the area. That's cold front number 1. Front number 2 comes in Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and that will bring some big-time wind with it for Wednesday, and that'll be the wind of change because we turn much cooler as we get towards the end of the week. Right now, live look at radar, a couple showers still lifting the way to the north, but again, everything's pretty much drying out with the exception of the Spring and Conroe area. You've got your last shower left over there still. A lot more rain, though, back to the west, and this is our developing storm system coming out of the Four Corners area. For tonight, though, we stay very warm, we stay very humid as well, and a lot of clouds are out there. We should be dry for the most part. Tomorrow, our storm system lifts to the north. Big trailing cold front behind it will bring afternoon downpours and thunderstorms to the area, some of which could be feisty. That's not the cold front, though, that will drop our temperatures. That will drop the humidity in a big way, though, for Tuesday. Our cold front is still waiting in the wings for us as we get into Tuesday. So we're warm on Tuesday, but once that goes through Wednesday, that's when the numbers drop. Here's a look at future track getting into tomorrow. Again, the morning hours are dry. It's not till noon that our line of downpours and storms will start to approach from the west. Should approach and get into the city between, let's say, 3 and 5 p.m. Moves through, starts to weaken and fall apart, especially as you get south of I-10. And then once we get to 9 p.m., everyone slowly starts to dry out. So the first half of tomorrow certainly looking like the driest. Look at what this does to the humidity, though. It takes all the green, pushes it away. Humidity totally disappears for the rest of the week behind tomorrow's front. But again, we're still warm on Tuesday. It's not until our second front comes through on Wednesday that our temperatures drop, and it will get very windy behind that second front. Check out the wind gusts here Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Some of these gusts could wake us up during the overnight hours between 25 and 35 miles per hour across the area. And again, those will drop the numbers. Check this out. 80 for your high tomorrow. We'll do 82 degrees Tuesday, but again with no humidity, so it feels great. We're down to 68 for your high temperature Wednesday, 70 Thursday, 72 Friday, and then we're back above normal, but still very comfortable getting into next weekend and the start of next week. Look at the temperatures here, though, as we get you into Thursday morning. 40s widespread across the area, including the city of Houston, and we could see some 30s in certain pockets, especially north of the area, north of the city, for Thursday morning and Friday morning as well. For the overnight tonight, though, mostly cloudy, muggy, very warm, way too warm for this time of year, mid-70s. Tomorrow, afternoon storms and downpours will touch 80 briefly before that line of downpours passes through as we get to the afternoon. There's your 7-day forecast. So front number 1 goes through tomorrow. We're up to 82, but with no humidity Tuesday. Then the second front goes through Tuesday night. And look at that. 68 your high temperature for Wednesday, and then we very slowly stair-step our way back to the 70s for the end of the week. Look at the overnight temperatures, though. 45 for Thursday morning, 48 for Friday morning, same for Saturday morning. So some really brisk mornings coming up, guys. Just got to get through the next 2 days.
Yeah, I haven't seen temps like that in a while.
It's been a minute.
Yep. Thanks so much, Pat.
Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump and his team are quickly announcing their choices for key positions for their incoming administration. But questions still swirling over some controversial cabinet picks and their ability to be confirmed in the new Senate. CBS's Christian Benavidez reports from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the Trump transition team is meeting.
Still basking from his election victory, President-elect Donald Trump received a roaring welcome at Madison Square Garden in New York City, where he attended an Ultimate Fighting Championship event, sitting ringside along with Kid Rock and Elon Musk. Trump's real fight may be on the horizon in the Senate, where some of his cabinet nominees could face an uphill battle. His pick to be the nation's Attorney General, former Representative Matt Gaetz, who was the subject of a federal sex trafficking investigation, may not have the votes. Gaetz, who was also at the center of a House Ethics Committee investigation over allegedly having sex with a minor and illicit drug use, has denied all wrongdoing. A report by the committee has not been released.
There are many investigations that the House Ethics Committee has done, and we don't want to set a precedent where we, under any circumstances, will release documents from that committee.
Then there's Pete Hegseth, his choice for defense secretary. The former Fox News host and Army veteran is facing new scrutiny. CBS News has learned he paid a woman who accused him of sexual assault.
First reported by the Washington Post, his attorney told us he paid the woman to ward off a baseless lawsuit that would have likely gotten him fired from Fox, and that she initiated a consensual encounter. He was never charged in the 2017 incident. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
For the first time, President Biden is authorizing the use of powerful U.S. long-range weapons for Ukraine to fire inside Russia. That's according to a senior U.S. official. The move comes as Russia and its ally, North Korea, have deployed thousands of troops to Russia's southern region. However, the administration is concerned North Korea's involvement could mark the start of a dangerous new phase in the war. Turning now to some other top stories we're following this evening.
Tonight, prosecutors allege Sean Diddy Combs has attempted to obstruct justice in his sex trafficking case while behind bars. Court filings say Combs avoided monitoring by using telephone accounts of other inmates while trying to contact potential witnesses and accusers with the goal of blackmailing them to keep them quiet. The latest filing comes as prosecutors argue Combs should not be entitled to another bail hearing. He's due back in court on Friday.
The CDC is asking you to check your fridge if you have organic carrots. They may be linked to an E. coli outbreak. California-based carrot company Runaway Farms is recalling its bagged organic baby and whole carrots that are sold at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Target. According to the CDC, 39 people have been infected and one person died. If you have any of those carrots, toss them immediately and disinfect any surfaces they may have touched. We've got more info for you at KHOU.com.
The holiday season is officially headed to downtown Houston, and here's your sneak peek at this year's holiday tree. Almost set for the mayor's annual holiday spectacular at City Hall. This year's holiday tree is 48 feet tall from Oregon. It'll feature over 99,000 LED lights and 4,000 ornaments. Families can catch the tree lighting on Saturday, December 7th, so be sure to mark those calendars. And we know you're getting ready for the holiday season, and we're excited to bring back our KHOU 11 holiday homes. If you know someone who goes all out with their holiday decorations, a real Clark Griswold, we want to know about them. Nominate them at KHOU.com/holidayhomes, and we may just swing by their neighborhood and show off their decorations on TV.
Hey, Marcelino, you may have noticed I wasn't here last night.
I sure did.
All right, well, that's because I was out at the 241 Runners Awareness Gala. It was organized by Lisa Thomas, a dear friend of mine who lost her son this year after he went missing. Runners are youth who run away from home, leaving their families desperately searching for them. Last night's event focused on educating the public on runaway prevention and safety strategies and how to use data to do things such as fingerprint to help law enforcement identify runners and reunite them with their families. It was an honor and a privilege to be a part of this special evening.
Such an important cause, right?
Yes.
And you've done reporting on this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lisa contacted me when her son first went missing. 6 months later, they called him and he was in a morgue. Where he sat for 6 months because no one could identify him. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad. And so hopefully with resources, other families don't have to go through that.
Absolutely.
So she's a strong woman. So proud of her.
Glad that you were out there.
Yeah.
That's our time for now. But remember, you can check us out anytime on KHOU.com and KHOU 11 Plus.
We're back on TV for KHOU 11 News at 10. See you then.